Okay, gang, so I know you all are studying and you're like, I just want one more little bit of help. All right, so I'm going to do a really short, just kind of a pre-test video. All right, so I want to start off and just remind you, if you were working an equation, you can just watch or you can work it with me. 3x minus 2 equals, I'll say 4x minus parentheses x plus 2. I have no idea what this comes out to be. When you have an equation like this and you go to solve it, remember one trick. Right here when you have that negative, remember that there is a 1 here, and you have to hippity-hoppity distributive property with that 1 before you can do anything. Okay, so remember, if you have parentheses there and a negative, there is a 1 right there. All right, that's my first reminder tidbit. All right, the next thing I want to show you is, let me see. When you are deciding if something is a function. Is it a function, is it not? Remember that if you have a graph, okay, you do the vertical line test. It touches one time. Yes, that's a function. If you have an XY table, remember that the X value cannot repeat. Let me close that. The X value cannot repeat. This is a function. This is a function. Check it is. Check it is. Okay. However, if I did something like this, if I did maybe a mapping, and I did 0, 1, 2, and I did 2, 3, 4. 0 goes to 1, 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4, but 1 also goes to 3. In this mapping, 1, my X value, goes to 2 different numbers. This is not a function. Okay? The X value cannot repeat. So that's just kind of a short little reminder of functions. Remember also, 3x minus 2y greater than 10. If I were to try and solve this, I would move the x, divide the y, right? Let me get my other marker out. These are my kitchen markers I use in my kitchen. Move the x, so I'd have negative 2y greater than negative 3x plus 10. But when I divide by the negative 2, whenever you have an inequality and you divide by a negative, remember you have to flip the sign. Okay? So remember you flip the sign. On this one, I would get y, flip the sign. Negative over a negative would actually be a positive 3 over 2x. 10 divided by negative 2 would be negative 5. And then I would graph that. Okay. Another thing, this is what I've noticed my own kids struggling with whenever we work these at home. If I give you y equals 2x plus 10, and I say write the, I got a glare right there. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got that on there. Here, let me try moving this. Hold on. Well, okay, here we go. Write the equation of a line that's parallel to this, but goes through the point, we'll say 6, 10. Okay, I want the equation of the line that's parallel to this, but goes through that point. In order to write the equation of a line, remember you have y minus y1 equals a slope times x minus x1. Point slope form. This is what you use to write the equations of lines. I know a point, and do I know the slope? Yeah, I do. Parallel lines have the same slope. So this is what I know. My slope is 2, my point is 610. I want the equation of a line that goes through that. So y minus blank equals blank times x minus blank. All I do is plug it in. M is 2. M is 2. X stays with x, so 6 is going here. 10 is y, 10 is going here. From here, I would hippity-hoppity distributive property, and I would simplify. Okay, I'm not going to do that part. I'm going to trust that y'all know how to do that, but I am going to do another one. If I give you y equals 4/3 x plus 1, and I tell you to write the equation of a line that's parallel to that and goes through, we'll say 4, 10, you'd be like, okay, it goes, here's my point. Oh, I need to know it's parallel to this, so that means the slope is 4 over 3. Point slope. So I need to use that point slope formula, which you'll have a cheat sheet that will have that on there. So y minus blank equals blank times x minus blank. Slope is 4/3. X is 4. Y is 10. And then I simplify it out. Multiply it. Hippity hoppity, distributive property, all that kind of stuff. All right. Plugging it in is the biggest battle. Okay, so let's do this. Let's take this one right here, the same one. What if I told you that the line that goes through this point is perpendicular to this? All right, perpendicular means I have to flip it and switch it. So if I tell you that it's perpendicular, I need to remember that I have to flip it and switch the slope. Okay? So my slope over here is 4 over 3. My slope that goes through this point, flip it and switch it. It's positive, so I'm going to make it negative. From here, it's the exact same thing. Y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Or y minus blank equals blank times x minus blank. My slope is negative 3 over 4, so I'm plugging that in here. X stays with x. Here's the x is 4. Y stays with y. Y is 10. Let me go ahead and simplify this one. Maybe you're like, oh, she did all those so fast, I don't know if I can simplify. Well, it would be y minus 10 equals hippity hoppity distributive property. This would be negative 3 over 4x. Negative times a negative will be a positive. 3 over 4 times 4 is going to just be 3. I would add 10 to both sides. So y would equal negative 3 over 4x plus 13. So this line crosses or is perpendicular to this line. If I were to graph them, they would be perpendicular to each other. All right. Other ones I want to remind you of sequences. Oh, I know we didn't care for those. All right, so let me do a sequence on here. We had ones called the recursive rule. So the recursive rule looked like this. If I said that f of 1 was, we'll say 8, and then I told you that f of n equals f of n minus 1 minus 2. And I tell you, yeah, what's the 10th term? What's the 10th term? Everybody always goes, oh, you know, it's really not that bad. Draw out your blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on and on and on. Let's just see if we can write it. What is the first term? When I say the 10th term, I just mean write all your numbers. The first term is 8. How do you find the second term? Well, I know all this right here looks confusing. Really, all you have to know is this. You subtract 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. This is the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term, the fifth term. I need to go to the 10th. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 0 minus 2 minus 4 minus 6 minus 8 minus 10. I'm still subtracting 2 each time. Can I do it on my calculator? Yep. Let me show you on your calculator what you could have done. I would start at 8. 8 is my first term, and I would say 8 minus 2, enter. So now I'm on term 2, and this is super important that you kind of pay attention to this. From here, I just say minus 2, and now I'm at the third term. Hit enter. I'm at the fourth term. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th term is negative 10. You can hand write it out. It works just as well, but it does help. Okay, so one more. We'll do the 10th term again, just to be sure you got that. How am I at? 9 minutes. I'm doing good. If I tell you that f of 1 is 3, and f of n equals f of n minus 1 plus 2. And I want to know the 10th term. What do I know? If I'm asking for terms, I'm going to write out my blanks because I know that's what I'm doing. My first term is 3. How do I find the next term? I add 2. 5, 7, 9, and so on. So my 10th term, I'm going to get my calculator. I'm going to say 3 plus 2. That's the second. Oh, no, y'all can't see that very well. That's the second term. There's the third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it is. 21. Okay. Yes, I know. Thank you. All right. Let me see what I want to do next. What else did we do? We did sequences. Oh, yeah. What if I go the other way? What if I go... Okay, let me put one in my calculator real quick. So I think this one... Hey, it's still in here. Okay, what if I give you this? What if I say negative 1, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and I say, write the sequence. Write this sequence. You're like, what? Okay, but I'm going to give you choice. So let's say that I tell you A is f of n equals negative 2x plus 3. B is f of n equals 2x plus 3. C is f of n equals 2x minus 3. D is f of n equals negative 2x minus 3. Okay, so we've got these scenarios. Here's what you're going to do. F of n is nothing more than a fancy y. So I can just say y right here. Oh, you know what? Those should have been n's. Whoops. These should all be n's. If it's f of n, that has to be n. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to put y equals negative 2x plus 3. Remember, sequences always start with 1. So second table, and I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see a little bit. You're looking here at your table, okay? So I go, remember pull this back out so you can see my sequence. So my sequence starts at negative 1, just like this one. 1, oh, look, it starts at 1. 1 is 1, negative 1, negative 3. That's super close, but that is not quite what I'm looking for. So that means this one's wrong. Okay, so let's try the next one. I'm going to put in 2x plus 3, second table. So starting at 1, sequences always start at 1. This one starts at 5. 5, 7, 9. So it's close, but no, it's not that one either. Okay, so then I'm going to go try my next one, which is 2x minus 3. Second table. Start at 1. Here we go. Negative 1. That's where mine starts too. 1, 3, 5, 7. Yep, there it is. So this is the one that works. So all you're doing is looking for your sequence. Remember, your sequence is going to be on the y column. Okay, it's the y column of your calculator. All right. Sequences. I think there's just 1 or 2 on there with sequences. Don't let them stump you. Okay, where am I at? I'm at 13. I don't want to go over 15 if I... How's it? Can you stop? Okay. Parallel. I already did that. Oh, yeah. If I have an equation, or I have a line... Here, hold on. I think I'm going to pause this. Hold on. Are you done? Thank you. All right. So, if I have a line that looks like this, and I ask you, what's the equation of this line? Well, first thing I want to notice is that this is an up and down line. This is a vertical line. The word that goes with vertical is vux, which is x equals. Well, what's the x value? Well, x is negative 3. So the equation of this line is x equals negative 3. What's the slope of this line? That's a vertical line. U stands for undefined slope. Okay? The reverse of that is if I had, I'll put one down here at this way. This line right here is a horizontal line. The word that goes with horizontal is hoi. which is y equals, and in this case, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Y equals -4. What's the slope of this line? That is a horizontal and a 0 slope. So my slope equals 0. Okay, just a quick reminder on those. All right, let's see if I can squeeze in one more. A couple of the easy ones. Oh, I wish I still had that one on here. Oh, this is really hard to see because this board has seen its better days. Okay, let's see if I can get this on here. Okay, I know it's not exactly perfect, but we're going to go with it. If I ask you what's the 0 of this line, some of you are going to go, oh, it's right here. No, no, no. Remember, heroes stand tall, but zeros lay down. Zeros are where you cross the x-axis, right here. That is the 0. So in this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the 0. Or I would say x equals 6. That's where the 0 is, right there. Booyah. Zeros are where you cross the x-axis. Now, that was just kind of a short review. I don't want to really go much longer. I'm already at 16 minutes, but I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. I really think that's all I needed to show you. I was kind of glancing at the final while I was kind of doing this just to make sure. Transformations. Let me just do one quick. I may end up getting to 20 minutes. Oh, sorry, y'all. Let's do one like this. Let's do, yeah, we could do it like this. The parent function is y equals x. Remember, that's our parent function. Or f of x equals x. If I did a g of x, let's put it like this. If I call this g of x, and I said, which equation represents g of x? So g of x equals f of x plus 2. G of x equals 1/3 f of x. G of x equals f of x minus 3. Or g of x equals, we'll say 3 times f of x. Okay, when you look at this, you're like, what? Okay, let's just take it problem by problem. F of x plus 2. When you add 2 to the parent function, remember that picks it up when you add 2 on the end, and it moves it up 2. So this first one right here, f of x plus 2, has the same slope, it just moves it up 2, and it would look right here. Well, that's not g of x, is it? No, so it's not this one. 1/3 x. Okay, that says if I take f of x and make it the slope 1/3 of what it used to be. Fractions make your head hurt and make you want to lay down. So I'll use blue. 1/3, this one right here, this is taking g of x and making it less steep. It's saying, what if it's down here? So it's taking g of x and kind of flattening it out. 1/3, it's 1/3 of the slope. That's not my g right there at all. F of x minus 3. Again, this is taking f of x and moving it. In this situation, it's moving it down 1, 2, 3. Same slope. Is that my g? No, that's still not my g. But this one right here, g of x equals 3. 3 is messing with the slope. That's all I did was I moved the slope. 3x gets more steep. Remember, fractions less steep, whole numbers more steep. So this takes it and it goes it more steep. So this is the one I was looking for. If transformations kind of make you go, what did she just do? Go back and look at it. Or when you come to school in the morning, I won't be there Monday morning, but I will be there on Tuesday and Wednesday morning. You can swing by and we can do a transformation real quick. Hey guys, good luck on your final exam. Thanks for watching.